but her DNA is filled with historical bad behavior. And she does come across as being quite harsh, but she is ultimately looking out for the well-being of planet Earth and the sanity of her son. So, so I think she has good intentions. Massively excited and honoured to be a part of it. I was a big fan at the beginning for the very first one, and I could tell that they were going to, do right by the franchise, and they absolutely have pulled it off. So very pleased to be a part of it, and and it's good. Oh, well, he's incredible. And I don't know how anyone, where do you begin on something like this? I literally don't understand how these directors who do these huge films hold it all together and don't go insane. And it was clear from the moment I showed up, or any of us showed up, that he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was very relaxed and kind of European about it, and he's done it. He's pulled it off. So good on him. Oh, because the just all of it. I mean, between the practical sets and all the amazing CGI, well, you kind of want to see it on IMAX, actually, is what you really want to do. And but if you can't do that, then yes, on the bigger screen you can, because the effects and the whole world is extraordinary.
Amazing, totally surreal. I'm just so excited to be here. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. I play Eve Kim. She's a brilliant programmer, the CEO of a massive tech company, Encom, formerly run by Kevin Flynn, obviously. I just love her so much. She is so much smarter than I am, but she's got the biggest heart, and she goes on this very wild journey with Ares. Overwhelming. I mean, there were big shoes to fill, for sure. I can't think of another franchise that's been around for this long. So we wanted to honor the legacy of the past, but also usher in a whole new audience, maybe people who aren't aware of Tron. So that's a really exciting opportunity for us.
Wow, it feels incredible. So excited. When I was 12 years old, I walked into the movie theater and I saw Tron for the very first time, 1982, and it was mind-blowing. So to be here celebrating this beautiful night with that sunset here on top of London, in a way, it's incredible. I mean, the world of Tron for me is like Star Wars. I love it. It's got action, adventure, heart, and humor, and I think that combination of technology and creativity, it just grabbed a hold of my imagination when I was a kid, and it took me to a place I'd never been before. And of course, it had Jeff Bridges, so I'm a lifelong fan of his as well. Well, that's what I loved. We were asking a pretty big question: what does it mean to be alive? And I've just found that fascinating. And this is the first time in Tron and the history of Tron that the grid is going to come into the real world. So we have light cycles taking over the city, and I just thought that was a fantastic element. So super excited for people to experience Tron Ares. Yeah, I'm excited for people to see this film that we've been working on for almost a decade. It's been about a little over 9 years that we've been developing, and yeah, really, it's getting there. It's this film, the music is such a huge part of it. It's almost like a concert film, so it's fun. It's a guttural experience.
No, it's like it's been like a hurricane the last, I guess, 2 weeks now. So we're so happy. This is our last stop on the tour. So we've been all over Europe and going to America soon. So it feels fantastic, yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of Tron, and so for me that was kind of like a no-brainer a little bit. What it was for me was kind of like finding a reason to do this and really like earning it, and making us all feel worthy of a next chapter in the Tron saga. And I think I saw a lot of things that I like, in the script when I first read it 3 years ago, and you know, the light cycles being, coming into the real world. I love the idea of Ares and his journey, into discovering who he can be, like a human, So I was very intrigued by that. As a filmmaker, you always want to try at least to be original, even though it is a sequel of some sort. So again, like I think the previous films are, masterpieces in many ways, and I love the music and the sound, and my whole thing going into this was just trying to raise the bar somehow, and everybody that worked on the film, behind the camera, in front of the camera, Nine Inch Nails, everybody just really, brought their A game, and I'm so happy to show it. Yeah, so that's a big part of why I was drawn to making the movie, was the digital assets coming into the real world, and again, like I knew we were gonna have Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, to do this together with us. Nine Inch Nails, I had the best team, so I felt that okay, we have a chance. We have a chance to raise the bar and take it to the next level and all of that, and I hope that people come out. It's a hell of a ride. It's made for the cinema. That's why I keep doing this. It's to make these movies for the big screen, and this is definitely a big screen movie. Traditionally, it's a very visual movie and a very sound and music heavy movie. So I think you should see it where those things can give you, the best experience. And in my book, that's in the theater. And the bigger the theater, and obviously IMAX and Dolby and all of that is amazing if you have one of those, in nearby. But just try and see it on the big screen. It's like we put a lot of heart and our souls into every detail, and they really come alive on the big screen.
Oh my God! First of all, difficult. It takes like 3 people to get you dressed, and you never think about that. But cool, It's like as soon as you put the costume on, there's just something. I mean, you walk different, you feel different, and then walking onto those sets that was so incredibly designed. I hope that people really also just appreciate the production design on this film, because it was extremely thoughtful and so well curated, and it's just we were transported, and which is nice. We didn't have to imagine that. There was so much that was practical, including what we were looking at, and that just made playing all the much easier and even more fun. This film needs to be seen. It's a feast for the eyes that deserves to be on a big screen, that deserves to be, and also like, the audio and the visual go hand in hand, and you need to make sure that you're hearing this film on the speakers that they were made to be heard on, so that you can be just immersed in this world. Like, we have made a world that is so incredible and cool and beautiful for you. Come see it, just all in your eyes.